If your customer service is a 10 out of 10, your clients are coming back. I'm telling you, your clients are coming back. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, what it do, what it is, it's your girl Gerline. I am a hairstylist based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And y'all, let me tell you, when it comes to my client experience, that is something not to be played with. You hear me? Okay, we don't play with the guest experience, all right? And so I am here to talk about something that the beauty industry, I'm telling you, we get torn apart for this. All right, they will eat us up because why? We have a certain percentage of our professionals. I use that term loosely. We have certain people who are operating in our industry that is not upholding some of our standards. And one of our most important thing is our client experience. That's what keeps them coming back, and that what keeps money in your pocket and keep your business rolling. And so it hurts my heart when I hear client horror stories because I feel so horrible. I feel so horrible because at the end of the day, we are all people. We're all human beings. And we should treat each other with the utmost respect. And so you have to put yourself in the client's position. I'm coming to your establishment to get a service. I'm paying you money, right? And in return, I'm getting a service. But when I come in, I'm talking about the people who are respectful. You know, I'm not talking about others. That's a whole nother, I'm not gonna get into that today. However, I'm talking about somebody who comes in respectfully, follows your policies, follows everything that you set for your business, and your customer service is trash. Straight up. It's just garbage. And it's like you expect them to pay for a service, but then the way that you treated them was as if they were not human. That's a problem. That's a true problem. I feel like I've remained quiet on this topic for such a long time because I just didn't know what to say. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to focus on the negative. What I'm going to do is give you some practical things that you are able to implement today to make sure that your customer service is top tier, okay? Top tier. All right? So let's get into it. My tagline for Blue Haven Salon, it says this: it's more than just hair. It's about the whole experience. How do you make your clients feel when the moment they pull up and come in through your doors? How do you make them feel? That's so important. When you make that person feel special, you make that person feel seen and heard, that right there is like right in line with the hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? But that is what I feel like a lot of people miss. They miss the mark. They're so focused on the end result of this hairstyle that any level of professionalism doesn't even come into the equation. All right. So let's talk about some standards that we need to establish. All right. Number one, let's greet our client. Okay, let's give them a warm welcome. And if you are the type that have lots of clients, right before your clients walk in, look at the appointment book, look at your app. What's their name? Greet them by, hey Ashley, hey Dawn, hey Brittany. Call them by their name. And you know how we do. We're a little bit extra sometimes. So I like to kind of, if I see them and they look really nice, I said, okay, outfit, come on. And we go into that conversation. How's your morning been so far? If I know if they're coming from a long distance, I say, how was traffic? Was traffic bad this morning? How was it? It's just a small talk to get things going, to get them settled, okay, for their appointment. Y'all, I'm getting excited already, as if I'm getting my hair done. And I'm not. But at the end of the day, you feel my drift. You see what I'm talking about, right? Okay. All right. We're on to something, right? We're on to something. Number two is consultation questions. Depending on my client, depending on the style that they're getting, If it's their first time, for example, like knotless braids, I'll say, have you gotten knotless braids before? If they're new. If they say no, I said, okay, let me give you the disclaimer now. Well, then I go into going over the knotless braids, what the expectation should be, how it's gonna feel, and all of that good stuff. So that's when I just go ahead and, before we even get started. And then if they say, I don't really want it to look like this, or I would rather it be like this, then we can go ahead and set that up in the beginning, so I don't get done with your hairstyle and then you're like, I don't like it. The other thing you want to be able to do when you're going through that consultation is to confirm the hairstyle. Hear me and hear me well. You're going to be like, well, she know what she getting. Trust me. It's not you. It's I confirm hairstyles because there was one time I was with a client and she was getting knotless braids. And so I proceed to do small, right? I'm doing small knotless braids. But then I know in my appointment book, I should be done by like 2 o'clock. It's like 3 o'clock and I'm like, why am I still working? In my appointment book, it said I should be done by 2. Like, what's the issue? She booked medium. And I did small. When did I find out? When I was checking her out. When I was checking her out, and she didn't know. I don't know if this was her first time. Like, it's not her first time with me. However, I think it was her first time getting the braids. And so I was just like, when I went to go check her out, I said, oh my gosh. I said, girl, I'm so sorry. I had you in here longer than expected because you booked the medium, I did a small. But guess what? We're going to honor the medium price. I'm not going to charge you for no small because the error was on me. I said, no, ma'am. I said, that's what took it so long because I did a smaller size when you didn't book a smaller size. And she was a good sport about it. She was like, girl, it's okay. She was raving about the fact that our conversation was so warm and in depth. Like, she was talking about, she was like, girl, I got me a good, like, her spirit was so refreshed. She was just like, what's the price of the small size? I'm paying you the small. I said, no, so we went back and forth for a little bit. Then when I figured out that I was not going to win, okay, here you go. Here you go. This is the price. And so that all played together, right? With her experience and everything. And so therefore, I said all of that to say, confirm the hairstyle. Confirm the hairstyle. Because sometimes I'm thinking I'm going to do one thing and they change their mind, and I just didn't see it on the appointment book, So it's little things like that kind of helps and keeps everything copacetic, like we're on the same page and all that jazz, right? Okay, moving on. And throughout the service, I always want to make sure my clients are doing well. I said, if you need to use the restroom, please let me know. I don't have a problem. If you need to get something to eat, like a snack or something, some water, I'll grab it for you. It's no issue at all. So I don't want them to feel like they just have to sit still and not move until the end of the service. No. If I see that they need to take a personal call, I'll step away for a few minutes or what have you. It's no problem at all. And let's be real. When they want to take a break, I want to take a break. When they want a break, I want to get something to drink too and snack on. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the reality, like we here, especially if I had a long day. Oh, you need a break? Okay, say less. I'm going to take a break too. All right. And then once we are done with the service, we want to ask them if they have any questions. And I'm real big on, are you okay with this length? How does this look? Or if this is a new style for them, I'll kind of like, okay, you can wear your hair like this. You can wear it like that. How would you prefer to wear it? If they get braids, I'll ask, you want me to go ahead and put it up for you? Put it in a bun? All that jazz. That all plays into the customer experience. Why? Because it's making them feel like they're important, that they are seen and heard. All right. And now the next level of professionalism. Okay, so my client's been with me for a good little bit of time, and then I'm very personable. So if I have a new client, what I end up doing is just, kind of get a feel for who they are as a person. Do you have any children? Are you married, single? I don't go in that order like right away. I'm just, what do you do for a living? Or I say, Are you from Jacksonville? How long have you been here? That's how the conversation goes. So if they mention their spouse or their children, then I'll be able to say, oh, okay, so how long you been married? Or, how did you guys meet? Because I want them to know that this appointment is about them. Now, if they ask questions about me, I could share about me. However, I'm asking the questions. I'm, have those conversations to where I'm learning more about them, because that's what the appointment is about. It's all about them, their experience. And so there are times that I pray with my clients, whatever resources that I'm able to share with them to help them in their business or whatever the case may be. Hey, I heard about this. You might be interested in this. I had one client, she said, girl, every time I come here, I'm gonna need a notebook because you just be giving it away, So it just all depends on the vibe. But then again, there's clients, they have their laptop, they're working. I'm quiet. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. It's not my appointment, it's your appointment. And we'll have some clients, we talk the whole appointment. And then, or we're just watching series, episode after episode after episodes. I create the atmosphere that allow my clients to really feel comfortable, really, feel as though they're getting pampered, they're getting taken care of. And y'all, let me tell you, I have so many good things coming up. I am doing a renovation in my garage for my salon. And so it's going to have a bathroom in there, shampoo bowl, hand washing sink, all of that jazz. And this is really going to help me elevate my customer experience for my client. And I'm excited, y'all. I am excited. 2026, come on, let's go. All right, so next I'm going to share with you how you can create your own guest experience checklist, okay? So these are the things that you're going to make sure that you always follow, things that you need to have on hand to make sure your clients are having beautiful experience, right? That's what we want, okay? Because at the end of the day, if they have a great experience, they're going to tell other people about their experience and about your service. And the best type of marketing is word of mouth. Word of mouth is the number one form of marketing, okay? So you give them a good experience, oh, best believe auntie, mommy, sister, neighbor, cousin, everybody coming to you. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you give a warm welcome. And whatever that looks like to you and to your brand, make it be unique to you. And you want to make sure that you have light refreshments for your clients, whether it be water, tea, coffee, soda, whatever the case may be. If you are more like holistic, you may have like herbal teas, things that are more natural for your clients versus a lot of processed stuff. You want to make sure that you always give like a brief consultation for your returning clients if they're getting a style that is new to them, or you want to make sure that they fully understand the service that they booked and that you're providing them. If they're a brand new client, of course, you'll have a full, thorough consultation. Even though you will do it, I do my consultations virtually unless it's something that I need them to be physically here. I do it virtually just to kind of get a feel for things. And then once they come, just briefly review over what we talked about, go over any new concerns or questions, and then we'll get started. You want to make sure that you're constantly checking on your clients throughout the service to make sure that they're okay, that they're comfortable, and that, if they need anything, you're right there to help them. And you want to make sure that once you let your clients see the final look, ask them, are you happy with the look? Is there anything that you need to check? Because at the end of the day, they may see something that I have not seen. Or, from her perspective and my perspective is a little bit different. So you always want to make your client comfortable that if something is not looking right or if they don't like it too much, allow your space to be a safe space that they feel comfortable enough to say, hey, can you fix this right here? This is a little loose for me, or this is too tight, or whatever the case may be. That helps elevate the experience. A key tip is to, when you are finished with the service, you can always, either after the service or while you're going over the service that they're getting, you can let them know, okay, well, this style generally lasts X amount of weeks or X amount of days. Were you planning on getting another style after this? Did you have something in mind that you would like? You can kind of get a feel for the next style they want. and therefore you're able to rebook their next appointment before they leave the salon. Okay, that's how you keep your appointments booked. Booking your client's next appointment before they leave. All right, so because you're putting that bug in their ear in the beginning, if this is something that you talk about when you're doing the consultation, that way they can kind of think, what's my next appointment? What's my next stylist going to be? And lastly, you always want to send out your thank you. And this is part of the automation, a warm thank you, or if you know a client had a new color and you just wanted to follow up personally, you can send a personal text message to say, hey, just checking in, how you like your color, and things like that. And I'm telling you, those little things are huge, okay? Those are huge things that keeps your clients coming back. You hear me? Look at my reviews and you'll see what my clients say about their experience. And one last huge thing I constantly see on booking sites, okay, when it comes to professionalism, customer experience: grammar. When you are addressing your clients, you want to be speaking to them in a professional manner. When you communicate in all caps, the goal of caps is to emphasize what you're saying. And people see that as being loud or yelling. And so if you put in all caps, your appointment will be canceled if you do not pay your deposit, whatever the case may be. That, to me, I'll take that the wrong way, honestly. Because why you gotta yell? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So because it's something that people use all caps to emphasize, you have to make sure that you can clearly communicate. As a reminder, deposits must be sent within 24 hours of booking so that your appointment can be confirmed. If you have any questions or if you have any issues with anything, please feel free to reach out to me at this number. That's it. That's clear versus if you do not pay your deposit, your appointment will be canceled. That right there turns people away, believe it or not, because my clients tell me that. Okay? They tell me that. And so make sure when we're communicating in a warm, friendly manner, because how they perceive it can really affect your booking and affect the clients that you truly want to attract. So I just wanted to put that out there. And y'all, that is it. Okay, that is it. I feel like I can even go a little bit deeper, but that's gonna be like a workshop or something that I do. Maybe I'll do an ebook about it, but for right now, I just want to put that out there. Like I said in the previous episodes, that I want this information to be something that you can really take in and something that doesn't overwhelm you at any time. And I wanted to keep the episode short so that you're able to get as much content as you can in a small amount of time. And so with that said, y'all, I'll see you on the next one.